Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 120 is brought to you by Lindsay Hiller, one of our newest Patreon patrons. Today, Sergio and I are going to go over the week's countdown questions, talk about all the new information we learned from PAX East, and there will be a very special interview with GreatFairyCari and her experience playing Animal Crossing New Horizons at PAX East. So to begin, hello Sergio, how you doing?
Hello Chewy, I'm doing pretty awesome. It's been a really productive week, but in terms of Animal Crossing, it's been filled with a lot of news. And then I also got some amiibo cards. I've been putting those in the albums, and it's just been a great week.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of the box. You got some amiibo cards, you say, but no, you got a ton of amiibo cards. 3 boxes worth. What series were they? Were they like 2, 3, and 4?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I could tell because the green box, I think, was the first series. And I was like, oh, I didn't see a green one. Cool. So did you... How many, I guess, are you close to completing your collection at this point?
I think at this point, yeah, for the most part. I think Series 4, I still need a few. I'm kind of going through a list of what I need and what I have to give away. A lot of duplicates, but a lot of spots were filled as well.
That's awesome. So, how are you keeping these? Do you have like a special binder or anything that you're putting them in?
I have those. I think they're official, right? The ones that are Series 1 through 4, like in a separate binder.
You have those?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. I wish I had those.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Those weren't, I had to import each one. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were import items.
Yeah.
And funny enough, let me tell you. So in 2016, Jackie and I got married. We took our honeymoon in Spain and I saw them there and I was very close to buying them all. But then I was like, I could barely close my suitcase as it was. So I was like, I'm going to have to skip this, but they're right here, right in front of me. Yeah. I was like carrying them around the store. And then I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit these in my suitcase. I'm just going to leave them here. That's awesome. Okay. Next time I visit you, I'm definitely going to have to flip through that book because those are cool. I love that they have the outlines of each character on them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it kind of feels like very, who's that Pokemon type of thing. Well, that's pretty awesome. Before we get into the questions, I did want to kind of give everybody a reminder that we have a calendar, an official Haken calendar that compiles all of the artwork that we've seen on the show here. And oh my goodness, it features art by CodiBear, she has been really wonderful to work with. She's given me a lot of advice and really cool insight into, just getting the calendar up in places and everything, and even just like some other little background things, like actually shipping everything out and making it all get to people.
Nice.
But she is the featured artist for this month, and she did something. We had a special arrangement with her where she did the March 2020 artwork, which is, of course, release month for the show.
Yes.
But from there, she also did March 2021. So she will be opening and closing this essentially calendar,
right.
And year of Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is kind of a big deal,
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm sending you the piece right now. Or do you have it in front of you at all, Sergio?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, tell me about it. What do you think of this one?
Oh, it's spring, it's March. It's the best month of the decade, the one that we have been waiting for, and the piece just goes with it. It's very nice. It's perfect. Perfectly designed. Like, it's minimalistic in a way, but there's a lot of detail and a lot of color too. Very pastelish, but very nice.
Yeah, what I really like about her style is just like it gives me like storybook vibes, very like children's book types of feels to it, which I've always been a fan of. I really like children's books in general, so having this piece be that is really cool. And the other thing I want to point out too with this one is you'll notice there's like lots of weeds around, lots of little fossil holes. Things aren't very developed. They're living in a tent still,
Yes.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I really like about that is just that this is how we're going to start our lives in New Horizons. You know, we don't know how long we're going to be in a tent, for example, but for the most part, like, we're just going to be starting bare bones and everything. And I think this piece does a really good job of capturing that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And then the other thing, it does have some of the cherry blossoms, which we've seen a little bit of on everything. So
yes.
Yeah. It's honestly really great. And later on, I guess we're going to show a bit of the March 2021 piece as well, but you'll notice that one is definitely like, oh, this town has been developed a little bit more. They've made some progress in the year, you know?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also it's kind of funny too, because both of these pieces were made prior to us seeing like the Animal Crossing Direct or a whole lot of info for this, because they had to be ready in time to get printed in the calendar,
Yes.
which I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And so she essentially like kind of went with what we had at first.
Right.
But I think she did really capture it really well, that kind of progression. And just the house in the March 2021 piece looks really cute.
Yes, the house, the fencing, the paths. You're starting to see, this is more of like a town, a city. It's not just, we just got here. It's definitely been developed.
Yeah. So that one, I mean, we'll show it a little bit here today so you all can see it, but that one is actually going to debut in March 2021.
Yes.
So a whole year later, we're going to be checking in here. We're going to see how our year of Animal Crossing New Horizons has gone. And oh my goodness, what a year it's going to be.
Yeah.
So once again, I do want to mention CodiBear was the artist for this. She's got all sorts of social media accounts all over the place. She streamed as well in the past. I don't know how much she streams these days, but that was something that she used to do. But I will have all of her links in the description for you to go follow her, show her some love, really just enjoy her artwork because it's all really cute. And I was really glad to work with her on this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so once again, the calendar is also available now. If you order now, especially, I'm going to stress, like, if you're international, I really recommend ordering soon because it's going to take like 2 to 3 weeks before this thing can get to you, just with all of the shipping stuff. And, it takes a long time for me to send it from the US to another country. For those in the US, domestic shipping is a lot faster. I think the latest people got it was like a week after I sent it. I'm not Amazon, unfortunately. I can't provide 2-day shipping. But you all will be able to enjoy it in time for Animal Crossing New Horizons to launch. So if you're looking for some really fun way to keep track of your gameplay, I really like this calendar. We worked really hard on it, and all of the artwork from every single artist that's been on the show so far is in it. So you will be able to enjoy a lot of really great art. And I shouldn't tell people to like rip this calendar apart, but like if you're not really into calendars, like it's a lot of really high quality prints of Animal Crossing. So if you just want it for that, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. One of my other artists was like, oh man, I could just like cut these out, frame them, and make it look like really cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, not a bad idea. Especially like, you could go a year of using it before you did that.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's go ahead and move into answering our questions for the week. Sergio, have you seen this? Like, we are getting down there on questions. We are doing day 23 through 17. We're so close.
It doesn't feel real, but it is. So it's a mixed feeling. It's amazing.
Yeah. I did want to check in with you. So you're still good? 2-week vacation? You're doing that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh man. I'm so jealous. I wish I had that much vacation time. I do not. I probably have about 2.5 days right now.
Oh.
No, it's probably around 3 so far. So I'm taking launch day off, which will be a nice long weekend for sure.
Yes, yes, the best of the year.
Best weekend of the year, best day of the year, best month of the year, best month of the decade. We're in the
Yeah.
best of times at this
Yes.
point. Yeah, and for all of you, it's March 3rd at this point. So another special day, it's Switch launch day. So the Switch came out
Oh,
March 3rd, 2017. So that's a pretty special date to keep in
yeah.
mind. And who knows? Maybe we'll just get another trailer for things. I know a lot of people are hoping for like a direct announcement at this point.
That would actually make sense with the date. That would be. I would like that. I would like to see that.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be a fun little callback for where the Switch
Yeah.
was at that point and where it is now. Cool. So let's actually finally get to these questions because, I gotta talk a lot about all sorts of things. So day 23, the question was, type of weather and or time of day that makes you the happiest. What did you say for this, Sergio?
So for me, I really like rain. Not the heavy rain that we get sometimes, but just light rain. Light rain is good enough. I like it a lot. And as for the time of day, it might surprise you. I actually have a lot of fun memories playing New Leaf at 3 a.m. I wasn't waking up at 3 a.m. at that time. It was I had a like a I called it a broken sleep schedule. I kind of slept in two chunks every day, and usually I was up at 3 a.m. just playing and fishing and just having fun. I like that time a lot, like because it's 3 a.m. But Animal Crossing makes you feel definitely super safe. It's awesome.
Yeah, and your sleep schedule makes me feel stressed. I mean, I've heard people, do kind of like the power nap sleep schedule type of thing,
Right.
and I don't know. I guess I don't know how I feel about it because I've never done it. But I do really like that you have gotten to play during hours that I just don't think exist.
Yeah.
I've never seen 3, 4 a.m. before in my life, so I just have to believe that it
Yeah.
exists based on what you're telling me.
Nice.
But I agree with you. I really love rainy weather. I know you said light rain, not so much heavy rain, which is a game, but not the one we're talking
Right.
about. I just like rainy. Like, I don't care if it's light, heavy, whatever it is. I just love rainy weather any time of day. I'm happy because I just go back to the original Animal Crossing when it was a rainy day and that little rainy day theme would be playing. It's so simple
Yes.
and so cute and so nostalgic. It takes me back.
Yeah, very like significant. Yes, it's raining. I can hear it in the music.
Yeah, it just feels like a rainy day,
Yeah.
even if it's the sunny day outside for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so day 22, which town fruit equals a hard restart? Would any of them make you restart the game, Sergio?
Honestly, I've decided that I won't. Whatever I get, I get. The one that would make me go, would be pears. But even if I get them, I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I feel maybe the same. I guess I'll have to see when it actually happens, but yeah, I don't want pears. I don't really want oranges. I'd be happy with apples, cherries, or peaches, to be honest. I think peaches for me, it's a callback to my original town. Cherries, they used to be my lowest on my list of 3 that I would like to have, but lately I've seen the footage with cherry trees in the game and I'm just like, they look good. They just look too good and I want to eat them, so cherries are fine again. I'm back on the
Nice.
cherry train.
Nice.
And then apples, just apples really stuck out in New Leaf with the perfect apple. It just looked
Yes.
so good. It looked like the best fruit. It just looked beautiful. So I'm down for any of those. I think right now I want to accept pears or oranges if that fate is what is fated. But if I don't get them, I'm okay with that.
Nice. And you have more chances of getting the ones you want. 3 out of 2.
Yeah, and that makes me happy too. Like the odds are in my favor at this
Yes.
point. Not that the odds are ever really that. I'm pretty unlucky. I've got to tell you. You should have seen my streams earlier this week when we were doing the festival event.
Oh, yes.
Rock paper scissors kicks my butt. I cannot win at rock paper scissors. But you know what? I will blame stream chat for that one because they told me to pick rock, and I was like, I don't know, you guys, rock, I don't know. And then I did it, and I was right. We got it wrong. So yeah, no, like I said, odds are in my favor. I have a pretty good chance of getting a fruit that I would want in my town.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And you do too. Like if you're just like bummed out by pears, like you got 4 other options. So we're gonna both get pears. It's gonna happen. Yeah. I feel it already. Okay. Day 21. What is your favorite way to farm bells?
Ooh, okay. So for me, it's definitely the turnips. The easiest, I guess, in a way, the easiest to set up for is perfect fruit. You just plant a lot of trees, as many as you can. You wait for the day when when you get extra cash for them at retail. But then it takes too long to like get all the fruit, and then you have to plant it all over again, and then maybe you have to visit a town and do multiple trips from the storage to the retail. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I'll just wait for a good turnip day. And then you have the option of waiting for you to get a good price in your town or for a friend, and then you just visit. So yeah, the turnip system, it seems like it's the best. I know there's also the box at the island, but to me that seemed a little too much, a little too easy.
Yeah, I get that. I've done a lot of those things as well. Like the fruit, essentially Wild World, my playthrough of Wild World, like fruit was my main source of income every 3 days. And I can't go back to it. I just can't, because Wild World was at that point in time where you could only carry your 15 items, You couldn't stack the fruit. That was introduced in New Leaf.
Yes.
And so New Leaf made it easier, but even then I was like, no, I'm not doing this fruit orchard thing. I've done it in the past. It's kind of annoying to have to go and shake every single tree in your place. Yeah. But you know what? I think it's improving each time because now, we had a limit to how many fruit baskets we could have, where it was like you could have 9 fruits per basket.
Yes.
But now looking at the inventory in New Horizons, it looks like you can carry 99 fruit.
Yes, that's perfect.
At least in one little slot.
Right.
So right off the bat, they are already improving your ability to just collect. And then, even beyond that, we have seen that you can increase your inventory slots, which is insane. To have double the inventory space is so much room. With everything stacking and having double, it's just like, it's not going to be an issue to do that sort of thing. Now, that said, I also did the bugs. I probably did that a lot in the beginning of the game, and then I was like, it's time consuming. Yeah. You gotta go to the island, listen to Captain's song, which is okay. It's fine. No, I enjoyed it, but and then you start catching bugs, you put them in that box, and then you go back out, and you just keep going back and forth.
Right.
Until 500,000 bells have appeared in your account. That was on average what I would get a night doing that. But once I had like a good little bunch of money, like I swapped over to the stock market really quickly. There's guides out there to kind of tell you how to kind of watch your stock prices, And those really helped. Like I said, though, I'm not very lucky, so I didn't really ever have like really high prices in my town. I think I did like once, and I did pay it back where I opened my town for people to visit me and sell their turnips.
Right.
But mostly I would just like go on Beltree forums and find somebody who had really good prices for the stock market.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think we agree once again. Yeah. Stock market. That's the way to go.
Nice.
So day 20, draw out your ideal map. And I'll be honest with you. At the time of this recording, I haven't drawn it, but I do have ideas. So
Nice.
I'll go over those. But Sergio, what are your ideas for it?
So when I kind of envision my final path for my island, I just see a lot of connecting paths, and hopefully we can do some diagonal ones. I think, especially with the ability to have transparent paths now, I think we can do that, and it's gonna be very nice. So I just want everything to like be connected in many ways, different like streets or mini avenues, if you will, everything connected with a lot of areas in between, not just for the houses or the buildings, but just like little like rest stops even, or like outdoor areas for me and the villagers to just have fun. Yeah, just a lot of little areas connected, but be a lot of paths.
Yeah, I really like that idea because I've always really liked paths, like very intricate pathing ways too. And you can do that, like, I'm sure you can do that, like make some single paths, double paths, triple paths.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, grid size for those, but
Yes.
there's a lot of options for that, especially like traversing rivers and going up cliffs and that sort of thing. So there are tons and tons of options.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess for me, I was looking at the different maps, and I'm under this suspicion that the two things that won't be able to move are the resident services area and the Dodo Airlines. So
Right.
I'm assuming you can't move those. They like where they are is where they're going to be. So I guess I'm going to go for a map that has a kind of more centralized location for the resident services. And then I want the airport to probably be more directly south of it, but a little to the right. Because, you kind of go off the airport and walk to the left. And so I want that walkway to kind of match up to have a path that goes straight up to the resident services.
Gotcha.
So that way it feels like, oh, I've just landed in this place. Let me get situated by heading off to resident services. And, it feels official.
Yes.
Like when you get to the town.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to do with my town is back in Animal Crossing on the GameCube, Population Growing, there were those very special rivers where it would widen like a lot, and there would be a little island in the middle of that, and two bridges that connect. I know for a fact that I want to put one of those in my town. And then outside of that, I'm probably going to focus on making most of my town like in the second and third tiers. Like I want to have my town be more mountainous than islandish, you know? So those are the main features I would say for my town. But like I said, I'm going to draw a map. I haven't done it quite yet, but by the time you're all listening to this, it's probably going to be on the screen for you to see.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I did promise Nina that I would at least do this one. So it's on my docket for something to do.
Nice. And it's a good one to do because it's like planning for the future, and the layout is one of the most important things in our town. So yeah, good one to draw for sure.
Yeah, it is for sure. I like it a lot. So we're getting close here. Day 19. How do you think you will implement items placed outside? Are your outdoorsy items the only ones that belong outdoors, or will you be rocking a couch and a bidet on that front lawn? So what do you think here?
Yeah, for me, any item that if the game gives us the freedom to place anything outdoors, like in a front yard, backyard, or even anywhere in between, I'm going for it. So yeah, whatever fits. If it works, it works. If it doesn't really work, but it still kind of works, I'm going for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about it too. Like, if it's just an item that feels like it's going to fit there, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I want to put whatever fits the mood of the location outside. And I want to stress that too. Like, I want it to, because I want to decorate around my villagers' homes as well. So I want to kind of capture what their style is.
Yeah.
So I think the best way is to just give them a little yard and make it something special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, day 18, are you going to take your time to savor the gameplay, or are you going to grind bells like a nookling?
For me, I'm definitely gonna take my time. I want this game to last. You know, in basically, at least for me, New Leaf kind of lasted like between 2 and 3 years. By that point, we kind of wanted another one. I think New
Mhm.
Horizons. I'm planning to have it last between 5 and 6 years, so double that. You know, so definitely gonna take my time, pretty much with everything. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there, because I already know the wait for the next game is going to be so long. And, it's tough to start already thinking about the next game when you haven't even played this one.
Yes.
So I think it's important to kind of pace yourself and understand, like, Animal Crossing's meant to be a long-term game, and it's worth, like, missing some things here and there just so you can look forward to it next year.
Yes. Hmm.
All right. So day 17, the final day of this week. We're so close at this point.
Yes.
Will you be building your home on or off the beach? What are you thinking?
I think I'm gonna go with the beach for the first part of the game when you're in a tent, and I think it's kind of gonna be optional when you decide to upgrade to a house. So when I finally do that, I'll probably go more for like a cliff, somewhere on the island. But while I'm on a tent, I kind of like the beach life on a tent. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that does sound pretty fun. And now it's like we know that we're going to be able to move our places. It's
Yes.
something I wish we could have done in New Leaf for sure. But yeah, like we're going to be able to move. So wherever we stick our tent the first time around, that doesn't have to be where it stays forever.
Right.
So, still, I don't think I'm going to live on the beach. Maybe at some point I'll give it a try and see how I feel. But like I said, I'm going for more of a mountainous town, so I might be up on the cliff somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, those were all of the questions for the week. Let's go ahead and move into the next topic, which is Animal Crossing at New Horizons at PAX East. So recently, pretty late in the game, Nintendo announced that Animal Crossing New Horizons would be playable as in a demo version at PAX East, and a lot of people were like, well, finally you announced something that's going to be playable there. I don't even know what else was playable. Like, do you know if other games from Nintendo were playable at PAX East?
That's true. You know, not that I heard, and I mean, at least for sure they could have promoted Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which is coming out the week that we're listening to this episode. So, yeah, that's surprising, but maybe they're promoting what matters to them most.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm surprised too. Like, I didn't hear anything about Pokemon Mystery
Yeah,
Dungeon there at all. But that would be the game to kind of talk about at that point.
yeah.
So it's surprising. But yeah, I guess outside of that, did you get a chance to watch any of the footage that came out of PAX East?
Yes, there was a lot of it. I didn't watch like every minute of it. Some of like there were a lot of like 20 minutes of this, 15 minutes of that. I kind of skimmed through those. I didn't want to get all the details. I kind of want to save some for when we actually get the game. But it was tough. It was tough. I did want to watch a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, you're stronger than I, because I definitely watched like a few videos all the way through. And yeah, I mostly watched just to see like what are they doing with the demo, for Animal Crossing, because for years people have been telling me Animal Crossing doesn't demo well. It's not exactly a game that you show off.
Right.
And I was like, well, I would enjoy playing Animal Crossing at a place. So, I don't know. For me, I was just like, well, how do we know Animal Crossing doesn't demo well? Because I want to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched it for that, and it was fun. It was fun to see, like, people go through and play the game and kind of, like, hear the Nintendo rep kind of talk about just like all the different things you could do and how, they would guide you here and there. But for some people, it was like, oh yeah, you have free reign. You can do whatever you want. And so others were just like walking around and maybe didn't know quite what to do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what I saw from the footage. But I did want to ask you, like, what was the most interesting thing you saw?
So for me, there were a lot of tidbits, and I feel like, the little confirmations that we got on a lot of things was very nice. Definitely the standout was it's looking like we're gonna be able to send letters to our friends online. That is really cool. Definitely for sure we're gonna be able to store like about 300 letters, I believe I saw. That's crazy. That's awesome. Definitely those two stood out to me. Also, how like it seems like some of the special characters are gonna have like a slowish sort of development. Like they're also growing in the island, like you are. Definitely the example of that, the main one is Blathers. He starts out like on a tent kind of place before you actually get the official full blown museum. That's really cool. It's like, yeah, I'm here too. These are my roots too. We're gonna grow together.
Yeah, okay, you've made a lot of really good points here for sure. The letters are huge. Like being able to send letters out to people, like your friends and everything, without like being in their town. Why was that ever the only way to do it?
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious that we want to send letters to people in other towns. Like, why not make it work that way? Like it did back in City Folk. Like, that's how it worked. And so that's a great return. And especially holding like 300 letters, because every single day in New Leaf, I've been logging in every day, and I'm just like, oh, I hope my letter pocket isn't full as I grab a million letters
Yeah.
out of this mailbox. And so, yeah, it's going to be nice to not have to worry about managing my letter inventory.
Yes.
And then, dude, Blathers, getting an upgrade from the beginning, that is wonderful to me. It's just like, it took so long for this to happen, I feel. Like a bunch of other shops didn't really experience as many upgrades before. And now it seems like they have gone all out with this idea that we are starting with nothing in this town and we really, really have to build it all up.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I am really excited to see that Blathers is going to be one of those experiences. Because also, and this will be mentioned in the interview a little bit later, but like, just starting with a huge empty museum, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because the whole building is already so like special and decked out, you know?
Yeah.
But there's nothing in there. So it's nice to see that you have to work to get to that building.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess the things that I pointed out, or that I found more interesting,
Mm-hmm.
were outside of the Blathers thing, because I had that written down as well. But I really liked that the message in the bottle has finally been confirmed to have returned.
Yes.
And this is a feature that existed in Wild World. And so pretty much you would get a message in a bottle. You could open it up and it'd be a letter from somebody. You could also kind of send some out. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the most, I guess what they showed here is that you can open them and some of them will actually have DIY recipes. So it's going to give us a new way to find DIY recipes, which is, a lot of people always complained about all of the public works projects in New Leaf being essentially recommended to you by a villager,
Right.
It's time. It's time to see us find all these things that we can build in many different ways.
Yeah, and this is a very nice throwback to Wild World, and definitely nice plus to also get DIY recipes with it. It's a very, very good decision, Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm really glad this is the case for sure.
Yes.
So from there, I did also want to ask you, what did you think of that Nintendo booth that was there?
Oh man, it looked amazing. Like when you kind of first see it, to me the most attention grabbing part was the water, the way it looks. It just makes it look very like it's a mini island, it's nice and cozy, and it's like the island in the game, but you're there to actually demo the game. It's like, wow, it's amazing. How did they do this?
Yeah, I agree. The waterfall kind of portion was just like, what?
Yeah.
This looks so cool. How did you do that? And so I really like that they made it kind of just a magical place. And now at this point, I want to just build a set for my studio that just looks like that. If I could just stream and it looks like I'm right there in the world of Animal Crossing, that would be a dream come true.
Awesome.
I don't know how we'd ever be able to do that, but like having a little house built out and then from there putting like a tree, of course. But yeah, it would honestly look amazing.
Yeah.
The next question I had for you was, did you look into tickets to go to PAX East after you learned that Animal Crossing would be there?
Oh man, I would have liked to. It was a little too short notice, the way they timed it, so it couldn't really have worked. But it would have been nice. Like I knew for sure, like in the events that Japan had, starting late last year, I think like around December, I just knew that the mascots were gonna be there, and of course that includes KK Slider. And if I ever go to an event where he is at, I know the first thing I'm gonna want to do is just to give him a big hug, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to let go. So I don't want to get in trouble or get anyone in trouble. So it's probably better if I don't go.
Yeah, oh man, it was really cool seeing KK Slider there, Tom Nook, Isabel.
Yes.
It's so fun to just see all of those characters show up and, just do photo ops with people. It seemed like they had a lot of fun with the different photos that they took. You'll see one from the interview. GreatFairyCari took a really great photo with Isabel and Tom Nook. Unfortunately,
nice.
She did not get one with KK Slider, but I'll post those later on when we go through her interview.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I looked into it. I'm going to tell you right now that I for sure looked into what it would cost to go.
Right.
And I was like, I think I'm going to save $1,000 and just wait for this game to come out. Because, oh my goodness, were those flights expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just too much and too short notice, just like you. But I just looked into it because I was like, well, if it's reasonable, why not give it a go, And, just enjoy playing Animal Crossing. It would have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been like a little more like it would have been like we were there. We were in the game for a little while before we even get a chance to actually have it. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, it honestly would have. And you're totally right. It just feels like you're there.
Yeah.
Which is the dream that people have.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, make Animal Crossing VR. That'd be great.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I did want to point out one thing that was really confusing from PAX East, and it's something that I pointed out in my video, but it's also something that I don't think I quite understand fully yet. So it's Nook Miles Plus. Essentially, we've learned about Nook Miles. We know they're a thing. They're essentially the reward system that works in the game and kind of gives us different tasks to complete and different rewards for completing them as we play. And so that, I don't know, I guess I just didn't know what exactly it was. Were you able to pick up on anything for it?
Not too detailed, like to actually be able to point out the difference. I heard from one of the videos that I watched that it might be related to, like Nook Miles is the long-term goals that you have, and then Nook Miles Plus might be the daily ones, or the other way around. It wasn't too clear. And yeah, I think for sure we don't know the full details, but I'm also very intrigued. The more Nook Miles programs that are out there, or more like daily rewards or long-term rewards, the better. So I'm all for it, and I cannot wait to find out the details.
Yeah, and I agree there. I feel like that's what I mostly heard about it, that it was just a daily reward system versus more long-term what Nook Miles is,
Right. Mm-hmm.
So who knows? I'm excited to just start playing the game and figuring all of this stuff out and living it for myself,
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah. So we're ready to do that. But like I said, right here, I'm going to actually clip in an interview with GreatFairyCari. I talked to her earlier today, just because it was a time I could make work. And so we'll cut to that real quick and then we'll be right back. Hey everybody, this is Chewy Plays Nintendo, and today I am with GreatFairyCari to talk to her about her experience playing Animal Crossing New Horizons at PAX East. So, hello, Carrie. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've been very excited to speak with you because of all of this really great footage you got. I think yours personally was kind of my favorite to look
Really?
through. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When I was uploading it, honestly, I was like, oh my goodness, this footage looks terrible. I'm so far away from the screen.
No, I think you captured it really well. I think yours had like the most clear view of the screen than a lot of them did.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So before we get too far, though, I did want to ask you to tell all the listeners about yourself and where they can find you.
Well, I am GreatFairyCari. I make Nintendo videos mainly focused on Animal Crossing, and I am on YouTube at GreatFairyCari, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, pretty much anything you can think of. I'll be there.
Awesome. Yeah, I really hope people go and check out your footage because it's really great. But yeah, I guess really quickly, I wanted to start kind of on the broad spectrum of things. How was your experience at PAX East, and what were kind of the highlights of the event for you?
Oh my goodness. It was such a great experience. It was definitely a lot more chaotic than I could have expected. On the second day, I wanted to play the demo a second time. And I got to the event 12 minutes after it started. I don't mean getting in line. I mean, I was in the doors 12 minutes after it started, and they already had capped and closed the lines for the Animal Crossing demo, for the Nintendo merch shop, for the pin. You couldn't get to anything.
That's wild. That is incredibly packed.
Yeah, it was crazy. People started lining up around the entire building, like on the wall outside of the line, to form a line for when the line reopens.
That's pretty awesome. I love that. It sounds like a lot of people were really excited to get their hands on the game.
Oh my goodness. Everyone's so excited. And it's people you wouldn't even expect. I mean, people at like some hardcore, like intense, violent game booths were like, I'm most excited for Animal Crossing.
That's pretty awesome. I know the Doom community is really embracing us for sure.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I've seen some GameStop stores have put the Doom and Animal Crossing together, and that makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's really great to see. I'm now a big Doom supporter after this for sure. So that was your experience going in on day 2, but you actually did get to play the game. You got to take some footage of it as well. Can you kind of run us through like how they organized the demo, or just like how that whole experience was going in and playing it?
Well, the demo was absolutely amazing. You had free range of the entire island, and you would play with another person as well as the Nintendo employee who kind of guided you, and it was a co-op play, so they would change who the leader was throughout the entire 20-minute demo that we were able to get.
So free range is, so they weren't like trying to take you anywhere. They weren't telling you to do any specific things. They just kind of like let you do whatever.
They let you explore however you wanted. Of course, they'd be like, oh, why don't you go look at the museum? If people weren't really trying to go look at the museum, they wanted you to see the main highlights, but there's a lot of stuff to discover.
Oh, wow. So I guess what was kind of your favorite stuff that you saw as you were playing the game?
They brought the little golden holes, not golden holes in the ground, but where the little sparkly spot in the ground is, where if you dig, you find the money. That's back. I was super excited for that. I didn't see any swimming, though. That kind of concerned me a little bit because I like that a lot in New Leaf.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed with the footage, too. It was just like, we haven't seen swimming at all. And honestly, like if I were to go on an island vacation, that would be the main thing I'd be there to do.
Exactly. And also in the museum, there was no art that I saw.
Oh, okay. So it looks like art is at least missing for now. Who knows if it'll be in later. But yeah, I did like looking through all of the museum looks incredible. Can you tell us about like how you felt going through it?
Oh my goodness. I felt like I was actually in a museum. It was so crazy. It was a lot more immersive than New Leaf was by far. There was places on the wall that was kind of like shadows of characters, and you would stand in it and give you a better view of the museum. And the bug rooms now are absolutely amazing. It feels like you're actually in a garden exhibit greenhouse type of ordeal.
That is awesome. That's definitely the vibe it gives me. It feels like this is an official museum, like what one would actually look like if you were to go in real life.
Exactly. And I don't know if you caught the screenshots that were released, that you actually have to donate to Blathers 15 times in order to get the museum building. So he's just kind of in a tent at the beginning.
Yeah, I did see that. And that's really exciting too, because, I always found it kind of funny in the previous games where you would walk into the museum and it's just like this gigantic building in your town, completely empty. And you're just like, who was mayor before me? Because this was like not a great investment.
Exactly. Tortimer was not pulling his weight.
Yeah. No, it's really cool to see all of that and see how it played out. Can you tell us kind of like what you thought about how they ran the demo and everything? Like in terms of, you kind of told us they gave you free reign of things. Did you think that was like the perfect way to go? Do you think people might have needed a little bit more help or guidance while playing it?
I spent a good bit of time before I actually got my footage just standing in the demo area and watching everyone else play, which was really exciting to be able to do that. And I could tell that a lot of people, it was their first time playing Animal Crossing and they were just a bit overwhelmed. They didn't really understand how the game was supposed to be played. And for those people, the free reign, I feel like probably wouldn't have been the best because they mostly just like ran around and shook trees and didn't really know what they were looking for. They didn't know how to use the equipment either. So they didn't try to really catch anything or fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess, did they try to like push you into maybe doing some of the crafting, or did you get to try out crafting at all?
I think you were able to try out crafting. I did not during my demo, however. I was more trying to find any Easter eggs I could. They do kind of push you to open up your Nook phone and show you all of the apps. That is one thing they do try to show to you, and they try to show you Nook Miles.
Oh, that's cool. So I guess what did they show you in terms of Nook Miles?
Pretty much what we've seen before, where you can find the Nook Miles in the phone and that you can unlock certain things as you acquire more Nook Miles. So far, they're not giving us too much information. There was not any new villagers that I saw during my demo. And when I asked the lady that was in charge of my demo, she wasn't really sure either. I did get to talk to one guy who he wasn't at a particular demo station. He was just kind of being sure people didn't wander in there. And he was really awesome. He worked at Nintendo. He actually got to level up Reggie's Animal Crossing New Leaf for him before the game came out. And so he answered a lot of my questions about it. And that was really interesting.
Oh, that's really awesome. I guess I did have a question in regards of like, you got to walk around the demo area and watch other people play. So did the demos all generally have kind of the same look and layout to the island?
Yes, I think everyone had the exact same demo because I had, in my footage, I was kind of jumping in between two different demos the entire time. And it seemed like everything was laid out the exact same. Everyone has the little 3 bears sitting outside next to that one house. And it seemed like everyone really has the same thing. Every tree that has the bees, it's the same tree in each demo, it seemed like.
Mm-hmm. And then, so they all had kind of the same villagers as well?
Yes. As far as I could tell, they did.
Okay, that's cool. That's good to know, because I was wondering too if like, are people seeing different villagers? What am I missing here?
No, I wish they were. I was walking around for a little bit because my footage wasn't actually from when I was able to play. I played a little bit later that day when the line thinned out. I was just able to go in with my content creator badge and go in and film. And so I wanted to start at a new demo instead of halfway through a demo so I could get the full 20 minutes of footage. So during that time, I just walked around and I looked at pretty much all of the demos that were out.
That's awesome. So, a little bit before we started recording this, you were telling me about kind of how strict they were when you were recording footage. It's cool to know that you had like a content creator badge, so you could go in the area and kind of take a look. But can you tell us like kind of some of the restrictions you had?
Oh my goodness. It was so difficult to even get in and get footage with the content creator badge. The only thing it really helped me with is I was able to get in the back of the capped line to take photos. And then I was able to walk over to the demo side. So there's one side where you took photo ops and the other side is where the demos were. So my content creator badge let me get in the back of the line that no one else could get into because it was full. I had to wait through the whole line. And then I was able to walk from the photo side to the demo side, which they wouldn't let other people do, which I was really happy about that. All I wanted was the chance to get in at that point. They also wouldn't let you record the screen. If it was just the screen and they wouldn't let you take pictures of just the screen, you had to have like a shoulder or a hand or something in the screen as well. I saw some people that were on the photo side, they tried to like come over and they took some pictures with their phone of the screen, and they made them delete the phone and asked them delete the pictures off their phone and asked them to leave.
Oh, wow. So you just get kicked out after that.
Yeah, I don't think they kicked him out to where like they couldn't come back, but they're like, that's not okay. You need to delete that. And then they was like, the exit's over there. We'll take you to the exit.
Okay. Well, that is really strict. I mean, that explains a lot of like looking through the footage. It seemed like, oh man, there's like a head in the way here.
Yeah, it was the same at E3. I played Link's Awakening and I was trying to get pictures, and they made me delete some of my pictures off and in the demo early because I didn't have my hand in it.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty strict. I'm surprised that's the case, but I think it's good for people to know too. So
yeah, and that's confusing to me.
What were you going to say?
Sorry, that just confused me because the footage is going to be released regardless of if there's like a hand in it or not. So I don't understand what difference that really makes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always been a weird thing with Nintendo, especially with like Animal Crossing is out in about 3 weeks now, a little bit less than 3 weeks. So, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for
Me
that.
too.
But I mean, like, the game's going to be out like really soon. Why at this point, like, what are you worried about?
I know. And the merch.
They already have hundreds of people playing the game at this point.
Oh, so true. Oh my goodness.
So what were you going to say a little bit ago?
The merch, the Animal Crossing merch, it sold out within the first like 2 or 3 hours. The convention was open.
Yeah, I did want to ask you about like the merch and the booth and everything. Were you able to get like any merch at all?
I didn't get any merch while I was there, but I went to watch Mixer Party after PAX, and I ran into the guy that ran the merch booth, and he was like, yeah, we ran out of all the Animal Crossing stuff, but I can send you a care package of like Animal Crossing merch since you do like Animal Crossing stuff. So I think I'll be getting some soon. Oh,
that's really awesome. I can't wait to hopefully you share it so we can all see.
Definitely. It was some really awesome merch though. I think my favorite thing I saw, it had the Able sisters on the shirt, and it was black and white, and there was just some Japanese script on either side of them. It was just very clean, very cute looking.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you to get that.
Oh, thanks.
So also the booth, I've seen pictures of it. It looked really decked out. What did you think of actually seeing like all of those Animal Crossing decorations kind of making the world feel alive there?
Oh my goodness. Not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. It was so amazing. My favorite thing, I'm not sure if you've seen any footage of it. I put a video up, but the water at the booth, it looked so real. It was like a projection or something, but along with how they built their display with it, it actually looked like there was like a little river running underneath the bridge, and it was so precious.
Yeah, I did see that footage and I was just like, what? How did they do that? That looks amazing. Yeah, I really love how sparkly and shiny it looks. It's got that Animal Crossing clear look to it.
Oh my gosh, I know. I was blown away. The trees also, I really love the trees, and seeing Tom Nook in person, oh my goodness.
Yeah, did you get to take a picture with him?
Oh my goodness, just hold on. I'll show you my favorite picture. I'm going to turn it into a meme later, but I got to take a picture with Tom Nook, and I also got to take a picture with Isabel. KK Slider was there, but he came in right as I was finishing up taking my footage of the demo, and I wanted to go upload it as like quickly as I could, so I didn't get a picture with him, but I got to see him, and he was pretty nifty.
That is awesome. I was really jealous of people getting to take pictures with our heroes, of course.
That's a picture of Tom Nook threatening me with a shovel.
Oh, that's adorable. I love it. That's so cute. So speaking of kind of like the visuals and how beautiful everything looked, what did you think about like seeing the game in person? Did it just like look better than ever than even it looks like online?
Oh my goodness, I could not believe the graphics, and like the wind was blowing, it interacted with the landscape, just everything, all these small details were absolutely incredible. I had a lot of questions of if it was 60 FPS. I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure it is from looking at the game. It runs really well.
Yeah, that's always great. I always tell people like you'd be surprised at how much like YouTube compression or even like Twitch compression just like depletes the visual quality of things. Exactly.
It looked like a Pixar movie, honestly. Like it looks like they ray traced Animal Crossing.
Oh wow! I'm even more excited to see it now. Okay, so beyond that, I guess, what did you think of the game when you played it? Like, how did you feel as you played it for the first time?
Oh my goodness. I cannot even express how happy I was. I almost teared up when they took the controller from me. I was so sad. I just wanted more. I didn't get to talk to the villagers enough, but it just made me so excited. It's like that little bit like that you need to get even more excited than you already were. It's so crazy. I wasn't able to do any of the terraforming, which made me a little sad because I was excited for that. But you can just tell that no single person is going to have an island anything like another person's.
Oh yeah, that's good to hear. So speaking of like the terraforming, was that a feature that they had available while you played, or was it just not an option?
I think you unlock it later because I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. It didn't look like the app was working for me on the Nook phone when I tried to click on the construction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it seems like they just kind of limited you to a little bit.
Yeah, I think that
not
this
be
is
able to
like
mess up too much.
maybe like a day 30 island, not too old of an island, but with enough unlocked for you to get the gist of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty awesome because it has been interesting to see like the footage that we have gotten so far. Like at least up until now, it was very focused on probably the first 2-3 days, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was cool to see a town that was a little bit more far in terms of like how much it was filled up.
I couldn't believe how much was outside, like all of the decorations we have now. Some of them kind of confused me as to like having like a bear stuffed animal outside like that. That might scare some of our villagers away.
Yeah, Stitches. I feel for the guy for sure. He doesn't want to see his stuffed bear friends there lifeless. So I guess one thing that was really hard to pick up on in the videos was definitely like the music that was playing. Were you able to make out some of the music during the demo?
I could kind of hear the music, but it was so loud in there, as you can probably tell. It was very, very difficult. I can tell that it's brand new music. Nothing was reused, but I could not get the gist of what it actually was.
Yeah, that's what I figured because it just seemed like I hear a lot of crowds, a lot of like people talking about the demo and everything. Everybody's clearly trying to talk louder to compensate for how loud everybody else is.
Yeah. And the Nintendo booth was right next to the Fuse DJ booth. I'm not sure if you've seen any pictures of that, but it's like this huge DJ booth to promote this pretty much like a Guitar Hero-esque game with bongos. So there's like smoke and a DJ, and it's just so loud. So it really drowned out a lot.
Awesome. Well, that's going to do it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw the vanity, though, in my clip. I thought that was a really awesome feature.
Oh, no. I do remember seeing like a little bit of a clip on it from the official Animal Crossing Twitter, but I guess let me know how you felt about that.
I thought it was really awesome that you could change your appearance without having to, take a pop quiz to get what you look like. And there's a lot more options for how you look. Previously with Animal Crossing games, they do have I think they have a good bit of variety for choices of like skin tone and hair color and everything like that. But they really took it the extra step.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm really excited about for sure. Just that everybody can truly make their character be like them, I think it's important to really throw you into the world and immerse you into that life.
Yeah. I mean, my boyfriend's Kurdish, and most people don't even know what Kurdish people are, so he doesn't get much representation anywhere. But he was playing the demo, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that guy looks just like me!" Like even he got really excited about it, and he's like a Fortnite person, so they did a really good job.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad that is a reaction that people can have to this game as they play, because it's not one that you can have very easily in older Animal Crossing games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess what were your favorite parts of New Horizons when playing it? I know you mentioned the kind of gold spots were back, but what were some other kind of little highlights for you?
The gold spots have me super excited. I really like the Able Sisters store. They have so many options and a little changing room, which I think is super precious, as well as the museum is so much more than I could have ever asked for. I could not believe what they did to the museum.
That's awesome. I've been just looking at pictures of the Able Sisters shop, and I'm so impressed with how good it looks.
It really does. Oh, and my new favorite feature probably is I was speaking to the guy that worked at Nintendo, and I had a question about Celeste, because in the Direct we saw that the character just kind of walked up to Celeste outside, and he said that special characters like Tom Nook, Isabelle, Celeste, Blathers, any of the characters that like have a job when they're not working, you can catch them walking around your village and doing stuff.
That's really cool. Which reminds me, you kind of mentioned like talking to villagers and stuff. I do remember seeing Harvey in walking around the island and everything. Did you get a chance to talk to him at all?
I don't think anyone in the demo I was with talked to him. Like I said, when you do the demo, you're playing with someone else, so you are only the leader for like a brief portion. And if you're not the leader, you don't really get to dictate where you go. We saw Harvey in the demo that I recorded, but not in the one that I played.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. So but I know you mentioned that you did get to talk to other villagers and everything. How were the conversations you had with them?
Really good, actually. It seems like they have, I don't even know how to word it. In New Leaf, it seemed like they just had like a list of things to say in responses, depending on what their like character type is, I guess. Mm-hmm. But these seem to be very unique phrases that actually like pertain to that character itself, instead of like the personality type. Yeah. That's probably the worst way to explain it possible. But.
No, I get it completely, because I know a lot of people can relate to feeling like, oh, New Leaf, it was a great game, but you just kept talking to the villagers and they'd start to feel stale. You'd cycle through the same dialogue. And so it's really nice to hear that they've like refreshed what the characters are saying in this game. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's about everything that I had for you.
Awesome.
You did mention, I guess I'll have to ask this. You got to talk to some of the Nintendo reps and everything there. And you did mention that they called out some of the villagers that at least special characters that you'll be able to see around the town. Was there anything else that was pretty interesting that they told you?
Most of the interesting things he told me was more about his adventures as a Nintendo employee and like hanging out with Reggie and playing his Animal Crossing game for him so it gets enough bells, and meeting Doug Bowser for the first time. He did say that with New Horizons that we haven't seen even like the tip of the iceberg for what there is with the game, which makes me really happy because I don't want them to give away too much so that we can find it on our own.
Oh my goodness. That makes me really happy too, because I had a feeling like we saw a lot during the Direct. We've seen a lot this past demo at PAX, but even then I'm just like, I have a feeling this game is a lot bigger than we think it is.
It definitely is. And I asked him about, I think it's maybe like 6 new villagers we've seen, and I asked him if there's going to be any more. And of course, he can't be like, oh, actually, there's going to be this many. But when I asked him, I was like, oh, is there more than that? He just laughed like that was a ridiculous question, which makes me really happy.
That is really exciting. I know a lot of people have been desperately wanting to see more of the new villagers. So that's good to hear that it's just laughable to even ask if there would be more. Once again, it's really great to have you here, talk to you a little bit about the game. I know I really appreciate when big Animal Crossing fans get to go and experience the game and then tell us about it. So I really hope people enjoy what you've had to say today.
Oh, thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you and being able to like tell someone about all that.
Yeah. Once again, where can everybody find you?
Oh, it's GreatFairyCari on YouTube and pretty much everywhere else.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that interview with GreatFairyCari. Sergio, I guess you're going to have to hear it a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so, we're just hopping back in here to go into Haken's Islander Corner. And before that, just be sure to go check out GreatFairyCari's channel. She posted her own footage from PAX East and got a really cool look at the game and everything. So, yeah, it's really worth seeing her stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into Haken's Islander Corner, Sergio. For those of you who don't know, Haken's Islander Corner is our part of the show where we ask our patrons a question on Patreon and then read some of their answers here. This week's question was, how do you think how do you think you're going to implement items placed outside? Are outdoorsy items the only ones that belong outdoors, or will you be rocking a couch and a bidet in your front yard? And of course, Sergio, you and I have already answered this,
Yes.
but let's go ahead and go back and forth. I guess I'll start this time around.
Okay.
So CM said, I think an outdoor movie theater would be really cozy. That being said, I think it'd be really funny if Chatter lived on a mini island with just his butt-hugging bidet. So this is a little reference. If you haven't gotten to look through the Animal Crossing New Horizons website yet, there are a lot of really cute videos there, and one of them has some really funny commentary from Chatter and his bidet.
Yes.
But outside of that, like, an outdoor movie theater would be wonderful. I would love to have that in my town.
Yeah, definitely. It's just really cool that we have limitless options, basically. We can do whatever we want. That's awesome.
Yeah, all of the things are available to us.
Yes. Nice. So Rebecca Thompson said, it depends. I'm going for a national park theme, so most likely things that are appropriate for the outdoors only. But I could see myself making an amphitheater or a small informal area with items not explicitly meant for the outdoors. Nice. And again, we have the option, like you said, if you're going for a certain theme, but you can change up at least a little area of your island wherever you think it's best. It's just really cool that the game gives us the option.
Yeah, and that's honestly the important part, just that we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got a cool thing. And also, like, national park theme, that sounds fun.
Yes.
It sounds very foresty, very Animal Crossing for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So Israel Sanchez said, in the early game, I might be putting my really big furniture outside. A big old sofa just doesn't look that great inside a yellow tent. As soon as I can upgrade to a house, all the indoorsy stuff is coming inside.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a pretty funny point because like some items maybe they just don't feel it right in a tent for you. So maybe you're gonna put them somewhere else for now. Speaking of that, like I'm realizing I'm also for sure going to be putting kind of displaying all of the fish and bugs that I have outside. Until I unlock that museum and can donate them fully.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that'll be something to look out for.
Yeah, hopefully they just don't fly away, especially the bugs.
That's true. I worry about that.
Nice. So Michael Perkins says, I think I will probably divide my space into regions of housing areas and then more natural areas like a sitting area away from everywhere else. Although the idea of making special theme areas for the various holidays and decorating it to match definitely appeals to me too. Ah, that is so true. Like when we want to decorate things for the different holidays that are in the game or the special events, that's cool. Like depending on how much we go out, for each event or holiday, we can really spend a lot of time with that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's true. The holiday just decorating gets me so excited in general. I'm so ready to just go all out with decking out my town for whatever holiday it is.
Nice.
Cool. So Jessica DeLuca said, I plan on making a cute outdoor cafe in my town with tons of potted plants, couches, plushies, and maybe some bookshelves so my villagers can read while they sip their coffee.
Oh.
I think if indoor furniture ties in well with the theme of your town and it's used the right way, it definitely won't look weird being placed outside at all. And yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody's kind of in that space where you can just create whatever atmosphere you want to create, Yeah.
And I'm not sure if we have seen if we can place mats or rugs outside, but at the same time, we can just place paths and make them look like rugs.
Yeah, that's true. That would work out perfectly. And, we kind of got a little bit of a clip like that where somebody was creating a sand kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? A sand pit? Sandbox. That's right. The one. Why I couldn't think of that. So yeah, somebody made a little sandbox out of the paving materials that they had and then put kind of jungle gym furniture on there.
Yes.
So it seems like there's a lot of freedom to just make whatever path you want to make, and then from there put whatever items on that path that you feel will fit it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's going to be so awesome. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
So then it says, oh, this is a difficult one. I tend to prefer items in places where they seem to belong. But if I want to go for a certain theme, I wouldn't be surprised if I end up with items outside that initially seem out of place. That's true. Like, theming is very important. So, if you have to put something outdoors that goes with the theme but doesn't go outdoors really, I think that's fine. I mean, it's flexibility.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you just find something that works, put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, which one did you just read, Dennis, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Zoe Chorn said, I'm definitely going to have a lounge room set up outside. Catch me watching TV in the rain. There you go. Just put all your electronics outside. It should turn out well. It won't be a problem at all.
Oh, man. Nice. And our last answer for this week is by Tab. And she says, I will be putting furniture outside. Probably not bathroom fixtures, but I definitely need an outdoor table and chairs, grill, potted plants for my patio, etc. Also, people are so creative. I'm sure I will be inspired by seeing others use furniture outdoors in unexpected ways. That's a very good point. And it's going to be very encouraging to want to visit as many different islands as we can to get ideas, to see what we like. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah, and one thing I'm really hoping for is the return of some sort of like Dream Suite feature where we can kind of go and visit towns freely, because like just getting the ideas for things is going to be one of the most exciting parts of visiting other towns and seeing kind of the creativity that people display when they're looking around their town.
Yeah, definitely. To me, that sounds like it would be an update down the line. I hope that's the case. I really want the Dream Suite or something similar to be part of New Horizons for sure.
Yeah, I know I want it to be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this show. Sergio, do you have anything else to say about any of the other topics that we've covered today?
Not specifically, but in general, it's just very exciting to be getting so close. Like I said, it almost doesn't feel like it's happening, but we know it is, so it's really cool. And Haken has been a hype train through and through, like just playing games with the community and just chatting about every little aspect. It's been awesome. So we're getting there. We're very close, everyone.
Yeah, we're right there. This is one of 3 episodes that are coming out before this game is out. We're like next week, we're going to be entering the last 10 days of our wait, which is it's a huge deal. It's insane that we're going to be starting that. I think next episode, that's going to be 10 days away from the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm counting it out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 days away from this game.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, we are close. It's insane. Yeah, I'm just happy that we can do this show and make it go even faster.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description and you can talk to other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChewyPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, have an episode dedicated to you, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chewy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube, the comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. How are you going to implement items placed outside? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chewy, Sergio, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.